Okay, welcome guys. Thank you for coming to my presentation. I'm going to talk to you about soccer, which is one of my favorite sports. Every 4 years, soccer teams from various countries get together to compete for the World Cup, it was created by the Frenchman Jules Rimet in 1928, which it got together for FIFA, the Federation Institution Football Association, which is the most important institution on the world football. The first edition of the World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930, which competed 13 teams selected by the FIFA. Then Uruguay took the trophy with it for the next 4 years. For the next World Cup, it was in 1934. It was done in Italy, and the next one was done in France. They both got the trophy Italy. However, by the 1942 and 1946, the competition was suspended for the breakout of the Second World War. In 1950, Brazil was chosen to hold the World Cup. Brazil was very enthusiastic to winning, and they had a really great team. But they got to the final with Uruguay, where they beat them. Uruguay beat Brazil by 2-1. This was a very emblematic game called the Maracanazo, because it was done in the Maracanazo, newly renovated stadium. So it will be Brazil's turn in 1958, where they won the cup in Sweden, which it will be considered one of the best soccer when appeared Pelé, Edson Arantes do Nascimento. 4 years later, they won again in Chile, and after 2 more cups, 8 years later, they won again in Mexico. After this 3 times winner, after being the 3-time winner in Brazil, they took 24 years to become the championship again, which it was in 1994 in USA. 4 years later, Brazil reached the final again in 1998, which it loses the title with France. In 2002, the cup was held in Japan and South Korea, led by Ronaldo, one of the best scorers in Brazil, and they won the championship by defeating Germany 2-0. In 2006, the World Cup was held in Germany, where it came back to the hands of Europe. It was full of emotions, and Italy was crowned again by defeating France in the final, scoring in penalties 5-3. The normal time game was 1-1. Okay, in the 2010, for the first time in history, the World Cup was held by an African continent, in South Africa, and it took place between June 11 and July 10, where Spain became for the first time the championship of the World Cup. In 2014, Brazil will host again the championship, where they got up to the semi-final, where they lost it 1-7 with Germany. At the final game, Germany against Argentina, they took the trophy with them, and Lionel Messi loses a chance to win the World Cup. In the last World Cup in 2018, which was held in Russia, France won against Croatia 4-2, even though Croatia did a great job throughout the whole tournament. And now we're just waiting for the next World Cup in 2022, which will be held for the Northern Hemisphere in Qatar, which the ball will start rolling in November and December. 4 years later, in 2026, the Cup will be held for the first time for 3 countries: the North American countries, Mexico, United States, and Canada. Okay, that was all I have to say for the FIFA World Cup tournaments, and thank you for listening.